vehicles or sees a beautiful sunset or something, rings me up or sends me a WhatsApp message, and I think it's so brilliant to be remembered when they're seeing something beautiful. So for me, that's been the biggest plus point. My vocabulary changed. You know, guys are not known to know even the 3 basic primary colors. All the ladies will attest to that. And here we have rufous breasted and all the colors that you can imagine, which even the ladies don't know. Wobblers, I mean, your vocabulary, tits and buntings meant something else earlier, and here you have different things coming in. And I think the biggest is the memories, which I think will outlast all those depreciating BMWs and Audis that Rajiv was talking about. And you know, in Wordsworth, his lines, they're going to last with you forever. So Ramesh wanted me to address whether things can actually get out of hand, and I think maybe things have. So in that balanced, you know, where this equilibrated birds, a little too much of it might possibly, you know, eclipse even the sun. So I think it's important to keep those spokes equal and make sure that these are, you know, in balance. And to speak on another of the things, we have one of the brightest radiology from the time my batch used to be. The toppers used to go there. Nirmal is one of the brightest of them. And not only does he see through you, through those x-rays, but here he's getting up and away. Over to you, Nirmal.
Hi, I'm Nirmal. See, I'm going to talk to you about one of my hobbies. Not how I do it, but why I do it. Now, what I do is Himalayan trekking. Now, the thing about our life now is that it's all about mobiles and schedules and getting up in the morning and reaching your hospital 8 a.m. The patient has to be on the table and all that. So, for trekking, the only thing, this gives you a false impression that everything is planned. Right? But when you get up there, what you're seeing essentially is a tectonic plate crashing against another, and mountains from 4,000 to 8,000 meters. And those little ants right at the bottom there are the human beings. It gives you a sense of perspective. Not just me, but humanity in general. Those mountains are going to be there when we are all dead and gone. And humanity also might be dead and gone, but those mountains will be there. And this is beauty. You know, there are different kinds of beauty. You can hold a Swarovski crystal in your hand, it's beautiful. But if you drop it, it breaks. But this beauty is different. It challenges you. It makes you aware that the different kinds, raw, natural beauty, power, and it makes you understand how limited you are.
Puneet was not up to mine.
So, you know, you can see the Himalayas from an airplane. You can see Himalayas from a bungalow with hot water and a nice TV. But when you're out there in a little tent, and when there's the rain and the snow and the darkness all around you, and when you have to walk 8 kilometers a day or 10 kilometers a day with 8 kilos on your back, and if you see the Himalayas, they look very different. And what is essential? Something essential is not your mobile phone, it's just your food, your water, and a place to rest. And these guys provide you that. So this all starts like this. A small group of tents, miles from nowhere, just a group of people, maybe 5 people, 10 people, and you have to keep walking. Now it doesn't matter whether it's uphill or downhill, their muscles are paining, you just keep walking. And you know, the Himalayas are a metaphor for life. When you're young, life is like this. You have trees, the slopes are gentle, and basically you have enough oxygen around you. But as you grow up, the vegetation changes. As you grow older, the going gets tough. But you have to keep going. See, there are no bridges, there are no tracks, there are no roads. You just make your own road, just keep walking. So you see those guys with the backpack on them. So it's basically 2 kilos of water, there's 2 liters of water, there's a kilo of food, and maybe a jacket which is like a hard shell or a soft shell, makes about 6 kilos, maybe a sleeping bag 8 kilos. And every kilo counts, every gram counts. You start taking toothpaste which is 20 grams instead of the 100-gram toothpaste. You cut the toothbrush so that only the brush remains. You drop the you drop the comb because it's not necessary. You drop your shaving brush because it's not necessary. For 8 days, the only thing what you need is what is for survival and that you carry on your back or your porter carries on the back. It makes you realize what is important in your life and what is not. And at the end of the day, it also makes you wonder, what exactly are we doing? What is it that, that we as persons are getting into? Like Dr. Ramesh said, materialism. This is the exact antithesis of material. And at night, you see the stars as your ancestors saw them. There is no light pollution. There is nothing to do. There is no TV. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the sun sets and it is darkness. You look up in the sky and you can see a million stars. You see the stars the size of, they're really big because you can see that. And you can see red stars, blue stars, white stars, yellow stars, which you can never see here. And as you go up, slowly the vegetation changes, the trees disappear, and you can see the weather can be anything. It can be raining one moment, it can be sunny the next. You don't have any control over it. You don't have control over life, you don't have control over this. So you just accept what comes. And solitude. Generally, for people who are extroverts, who love company, maybe this is not it. But for people who are comfortable with themselves, and even when you have a friend beside you, you're not talking to him because he's gasping and you're also gasping. You're exhausted, he's exhausted. He doesn't want to talk to you. Sometimes you're dropped back, the other guy is a kilometer behind you. So it is basically a challenge. You are competing with yourselves. You just keep moving, that's it. You're not trying to beat anyone. Sometimes you trek early in the morning before the sun comes up and the vistas are stunning. You see that? And you see signs of death everywhere. Sheep which have died, carrion, the huge Himalayan griffin which is feasting on dead animals. And this is one of my favorite shots. You see that little person right down there. And many times, every step that you take, you have to gasp. Because at 14,000 feet, you take a step and you wait. If you take a few breaths, you take the next step, you wait. It makes you understand how life is so easy for us. For when you have to even take a few steps, you have to struggle. And at the end of the day, physically you may be exhausted. But at the end of the day, you come back to the campfire and you eat some simple food, dal and chapati and maybe a few vegetables, and if you're lucky you get some chicken, and then you realize what life is all about. And sometimes the weather can get pretty rough. Like I said, there is no schedule here. You can't say that, yeah, 3 days, I got to reach back, I got an airport, a plane waiting for me, I got to get back. That doesn't work here. Sometimes you don't reach your destination. What's your destination? Oh, I'm going to Hamta Pass. You may never reach Hamta Pass. That depends on nature. But you have to understand that sometimes the weather was really bad. You have a snowstorm. You're stuck. You're stuck for 3 days, 2 days, and you ration yourselves, and you'll get out. I mean, you get out alive. It's not, you're not mountain climbing. You're trekking. But your plans can go out of the window. And sometimes a kilometer is a very, very long distance when you're trekking through something like ankle deep or calf deep snow. And it might be a simple thing, 14,000 feet is nothing for people who have trekked the Everest. But for me, when you reach some place where you're supposed to reach, you see a lot of them are young kids, and I'm the only guy with the white hair, but there's no rules there. It's not that only a 30-year-old can do it, only a 20-year-old can do it. I'm only 50 kilos. I can take 8 kilos on my back and walk. And so can you. Anybody can do it. It's only a thing in the mind. It's not there are no rules here. Thank you. And one more thing. There is silence on the mountains most of the time, but you have music in your soul. So basically it is soul music.
Alps. I think the movie that everybody remembers is on the Salzburg Trail or wherever is The Sound of Music. And when Maria Julie Andrews' character gets burnt out in that, she runs back to her spokes are uneven. She's fallen in love and she doesn't know how to deal with that. She's got an attachment. And the lady, the mother Abbess actually says, this is not a place of running away. You need to climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream. We thank you for a patient listening.
And ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman who performed the violin piece for us is a brilliant neurosurgeon, Dr. Sreehari. He is our special guest. He has come all the way just to give this 2-minute performance to enthrall the audience. And he is not just a neurosurgeon, a violinist, he is also an artist. Thank you, Dr. Sreehari. Dr. Nirmal Kumar Prabhu is my contemporary, and I saw him for the first time in the newspaper because he topped the state in the state medical and engineering entrance examination. Is that right? You lost your way and found yourself in medical college, and you know why, such brilliant minds. And thank you, Dr. Puneet, for your presentation. You gave us a lot of perspective, and I'm now going to invite Dr. Ramesh to present his. We are still on time. We have the finale is on the best apps, smartphone apps, not just for academic, but for personal life as well. Over to Dr. Ramesh.
We promised to finish on one